What's up, you guys? It is a lazy Saturday afternoon, probably about 1:30, something like that, and I'm in my apartment. It has been raining all morning, guys, so it's gonna be one of those days where I'm just gonna chill at home, sitting here watching some of my favorite YouTubers. I have several different types that I watch. This one is more of like a family. It's about this single mom and her kids, and I actually started watching her because when I used to wear wigs, she had this wig that was someone created because of the type of hair she had, and it's called the Valencia, and it's by Tony Daly, and so that's Valencia there. And I started watching her vlogs after I watched the YouTube video of the wig. So I've been following her ever since, and she's kind of funny, kind of hilarious, but she's not a real large YouTuber, but she has a really great following. Probably about 70,000 people follow her. So she's really entertaining and very funny. So I watch her a lot. I'm on here today really quick, just chilling. This is going to be a wash weekend for my locks, guys. So I decided to bring them to you just the way they are. I was going to do my hair, and I said, you know what? I said, lock followers need to see that your locks are just like regular hair, your natural hair or your perm relaxed hair, that you have days where it just look a mess and days that you have to fix it and wash it. So they're not always, neat and put together. So you have to see them on the bad days too. So it is what it is. I'm chilling at home, so hey, I'm not gonna do anything to them. So I just let you see me as is. It's okay to do that sometime. But today, this is going to be for my mothers, and especially my single mothers. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine because she's going through some things with her children actually, which, trust me when I tell you, I have experienced this with mine. And I think it's important to say. Also, it'll probably be a lot of parents out here that will have different opinions, and that's fine because we are all different. But I'm going to share my thoughts and what I've learned in my experience from raising my 3 children plus 1. I raised 4 kids. And I'm going to start out by saying this. There are a lot of books out there that can help you and guide you with certain situations when it comes to becoming a parent. But I will say this, and every parent has to agree with that. It is not a textbook out there that's going to tell you from A to Z how to raise your kids. I mean, the Bible is a great guide of principles and morals and standards, and there are plenty of therapists and doctors and all of that out there, authors who've written books about parenting, and they're all writing them from a perspective of theirs or some other person that they've counseled or a child they know about. But each child is individual. Every child is individual. So sometimes you have to go at parenting children differently. You can't do the same things that you did for one for the other because their personalities are totally different. Their attitudes are totally different. I have one child that has a very, very outgoing personality. That's my oldest daughter, and she's the middle child, and she talked to everybody. I mean, it didn't matter. It could be the neighbor, the person on the bus, at the grocery store, the dog, the bus driver, the teacher, the preacher. It didn't matter who it was. If she came across him, she talked to him, and that was her personality. For me, coming from a background of being pretty shy, I couldn't believe I had birthed a child that was that outgoing. Then I had 2 children, my oldest, which is a boy, and my youngest daughter, which are very introverted people. They're friendly people, but they're very soft-spoken when it comes to conversation. That ain't got nothing to do with their attitudes though. But they are very soft-spoken, they're kind of reserved type of people. They're not very crowd-friendly people. So they're very different. So I had to have different principles when raising each and every one of them. My youngest daughter is very sensitive. Well, my son is too. They're more alike than my middle child. So I have to say that. So, it can be hard sometimes when it seems that you may be giving more to one than the other. And then I took on the role of raising my niece. She came to me at the age of 13, 14. And she came to me because when my older sister passed away, my mom actually got her two daughters to raise. But when they became teenagers, they became a little hard for my mom to handle because my mother is older. So rather than allowing the state to take her, I love my sister to death. I decided to step up and take her youngest daughter. Her sister had actually gone to live with her father. So I took my youngest niece because that was my commitment to my sister, because I loved her dearly and I would have done anything for her. And I know had it had been me, she would be willing to do it for me. So that's how I ended up with her. But she came with a lot of problems. She came with a lot of personal struggles and stuff, because she grew up not knowing her parents, because she was a baby when her mama was killed. So therefore, she just had a lot going on. And it was hard. So giving a lot to her took away some of the things from my other children. And so one of my children suffered tremendously because of that. So saying all that to say, and because I'm not going to really get into that conversation, but saying all this to say that each child is different, so therefore their needs are going to be different. Do not allow your children to make you feel that you weren't a good parent if you did everything that you know to do for them. That includes providing for them, food, clothing, shelter, the actual extra attention you needed to give them, as far as trying to cultivate and help them as, to grow up into a productive person in life. And single mothers, sometimes we have to do this without having the father involved, which that was for me. My son's father was very non-active in his life as far as on a daily basis. He would get him a couple times, like in the summer, and he was very faithful in making sure he provided for him as far as money was concerned, but he did not nurture him. He did not teach him. So I'm a woman, and trying to raise a male, a black male at that, in this society, in this world, was very difficult. So there were probably a lot of things that I neglected to do. But when you know that you have done your best, I tried to put my son around men that would be great role models for him. When you have done that, do not allow your children to make you feel that you have not been a good parent. Do not let them put guilt on you to make you feel like you have not done your best. When you can lay down at night and be at peace with the things that you've done for your kids, that is all that matters, guys. When I lay down at night, I know that I work my butt off to provide a nourishing, loving environment for my children. And even though sometimes it took me away from them because I had to be outside of the home a lot because I worked 2 jobs most of the time, it still didn't take away from the fact that my devotion to them was 100%. Most of my decision making had to do and was centered around providing and making sure their environment was great and productive for them, so that when they become adults, that they could go off into the world and do what they needed to do. And even making sure that I provided time for them to have a great time, planning trips for them, making sure that they were happy and were able to have peers and friends and get out and have good time. I even sacrificed and budgeted those things. So I will not allow a child of mine to make me feel that I was not a good parent, and you shouldn't either. And it takes for them to get into society sometimes and get out on their own and be parents, to understand the sacrifices that parents sometimes have to make in order for them to have. No, they was not asked to be put into this world. But on the flip side of that coin, because I've heard that before, I wasn't asked to be brought here. On the flip side of that coin is that I did bring you into the world, and so therefore my responsibility was to you. But I could have given that responsibility to someone else. I could have gave you up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to decide to do that. So my heart was in it. I love my children, and I provided for them, and I did the best I can to give them, to make them whole. You try to make them well-rounded and centered. I even allowed them to be cultured, to learn about other things, to get out and experiment with different things to see what their talents were. And each one had individual needs. Each one had, different interests. I tried to put both of my daughters in dance, and only one of them wanted to do it. But you can't allow guilt and shame to make you feel like you're not doing your best. Don't allow people who raise their children differently make you feel that you're not a good parent. Don't allow parents who are blessed on a financial level to buy their kids everything make you feel, because you can't do the cars and all of the gear that children want, make you feel that you're not a good parent. It's nothing wrong with your children not having the top best of everything, as long as the things that you provide for them come from your heart and with love, and they're very taken care of. And that's what I wanted to share today. You know, it was very important for me to say that, so that some of these mothers, especially mothers, as single mothers, cannot carry guilt for the rest of their life of things that they weren't able to do, or they feel that they didn't do enough. If your children grew up and they're productive and you've done your best, and you know you can do you've done your best, lay your head down at night with peace. And that's all I have today. That's all I want to share today, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I am about to just chill this evening and watch some more of my favorite YouTubers and listen to some music. And I'm gonna make me some fish tonight. I wanted some grilled fish, so I'm gonna grill me some. I have some whiting perch in there, and that's what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will see you all later. Peace and love. Bye, guys.